How would you describe Vietnam? Vietnam is a long, narrow nation, and shaped like the letter S. It is in Southeast Asia, on the eastern edge of the peninsula known as Indochina. Its neighbors include China to the north and Laos and Cambodia to the west. The South China Sea lies to the east and south.
Who created Vietnamese alphabet? Quoc Ngu was devised in the mid-17th century by Portuguese missionaries who modified the Roman alphabet with accents and signs to suit the particular consonants, vowels, and tones of Vietnamese. It was further modified by a French missionary, Alexandre de Rhodes. How many cultures are there in Vietnam? 54 ethnic groups. Vietnam has 54 ethnic groups living across the country. Each ethnic group has its own cultural identities. Thus, the Vietnamese culture has both diversity and unity. How many Vietnamese last names are there? It is estimated that there are around 100 family names in common use. But some are far more common than others. The name Nguyen is estimated to be used by almost 40% of the Vietnamese population. The top 3 names are so popular because people tended to take family names of emperors to show their loyalty.
What is the cheapest month to fly to Vietnam? November. High season is considered to be January, November and December. The cheapest month to fly to Vietnam is November. What is the rainy season in Vietnam? The rainy season runs from October to early December, with almost half the annual rainfall falling in October and November. Da Lat, in the Central Highlands, is wet from June to October, making outdoor pursuits problematic. From November to May it is far drier, although cold in December and January. How much is Big Mac in Vietnam? At McDonald's, a Big Mac costs 60,000 Vietnamese dong, $2.82, while a value meal with fries and a drink goes for 85,000 Vietnamese dong, $3.99. Can a foreigner buy a house in Vietnam? Unfortunately, foreigners are not allowed to purchase land in Vietnam. But thanks to the Vietnam's land use rights, LUR, also known as Ownership Certificate of Property, foreigners are allowed to use and control the land they lease with a leasehold period of up to 50 to 70 years. The leasehold period is renewable.
What race are Vietnamese? Vietnamese people or Kin people, Noi Kin, are a Southeast Asian ethnic group, especially native to northern Vietnam. They speak the Vietnamese language, the most widely spoken Austroasiatic language. Is Christianity allowed in Vietnam? Christianity was first introduced to Vietnam in the 16th century. Catholics and Protestants today are reported to constitute 7% and 2% of the country's population respectively. However, the true number might be higher. What does the name Nguyen mean? Nguyen is the most common surname in Vietnam, and among the top 100 last names in the United States, Australia, and France. Meaning musical instrument, Nguyen is an interesting name that you'll encounter throughout the world.
What is unique about Vietnamese culture? Some elements generally considered to be characteristic of Vietnamese culture include ancestor veneration, respect for community and family values, handicrafts, and manual labor, and devotion to study. Important symbols present in Vietnamese culture include dragons, turtles, lotuses, and bamboo. What is the best time to go to Vietnam? While this variety makes Vietnam a year-round destination, spring, March to April, is typically the best time to visit the entire country, when days are generally pleasant, temperatures are moderate, and rainfall is light.
What is considered rude in Vietnam? The usual gesture to call people over with open hand and palm up is considered rude in Vietnam. It's how people call for dogs here. To show respect, palm down when you call someone over. And you also shouldn't call someone over when they're older than you.
What are 3 interesting facts about Vietnam? Vietnam is the largest exporter of cashew nuts and black pepper in the world with 1/3 of the global production. The country is also the second largest exporter of rice behind Thailand. Vietnam has a high level of biodiversity. It is home to approximately 16% of the world's species. What is Vietnam famous for? Needless to say, there are a lot of beautiful things that Vietnam can offer to the world. It is for that reason why many are considering this as one of the most beautiful destinations in Asia. Vietnam should be high on your travel bucket list if you want to experience sensational scenery, fantastic delicacies, and a whole new world of adventure. 10 things Vietnam is famous for. Number 1, food. It is undeniable that Southeast Asian food is top quality. Any gourmet would agree that the food in this particular region in Asia is brimming with a unique flavor. And the Vietnamese food isn't an exception. In fact, it's one of the main reasons why Vietnam is so popular these days. Number 2, motorbikes. The streets of Vietnam are filled with motorbikes. It is quite amusing to watch them glide and outmaneuver the traffic. One should know that the existence of these motorbikes made the traffic situation in Vietnam unpredictable and chaotic. If you are not careful enough, these bikes might send you to the hospital. At first, it feels that crossing their streets is quite impossible. You need to observe how the locals are doing it and replicate their movements. That should help you traverse their roads without being bumped.
Number 3, kayaking. You have to visit Vietnam if you are a huge fan of kayaking. This is one of the perfect destinations for kayakers in Southeast Asia. The country is blessed with plentiful rivers, streams, and lakes where you can take your boat to paddle. Of course, if that sounds too difficult, there are a lot of rentals here where you can get your boat and paddle. Number 4. Caves. The cave system in Vietnam is quite extensive. Even up to now, there are still monstrous caves being discovered in the various regions of the country. If you are not aware of it, the largest cave in the world is found here as well. Number 5. Ha Long Bay. Ha Long Bay is one of the finest natural wonders that Vietnam can offer to its tourists. It is part of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites that is located in the Gulf of Tonkin. There's no exaggeration when locals describe this place as majestic and wonderful. Once you see this bay, you will be overwhelmed by its surreal beauty and wonders.
Number 6. Sapa. You can witness the best of Vietnam's natural wonders in Sapa. This is a hilly region in the northwest part of the country. The place is filled with green vegetation, thanks to the abundance of plants, grasses, and trees here. Number 7. Beaches. If you are longing to experience some of the finest beaches in Asia, you should visit Vietnam. While it is true that their beaches are not commonly featured on international tourism platforms, most of the locals would really flaunt the quality of their sands and seas. Number 8. Hoi An. Another famous UNESCO World Heritage Site in Vietnam is Hoi An. This one is commonly touted as the Venice of Vietnam due to its idyllic atmosphere and romantic aesthetics. Hoi An is downright picturesque. There's no doubt about that. In fact, your trip in Vietnam will never be complete if you don't set foot on this place.
Number 9. Noodle soups. Interestingly, Vietnam is popular due to the quality of the noodle soups that they create. Among all the dishes Vietnam has to offer, the noodle soups ate on the top of the list. The most famous noodle soups are called pho.
Number 10. The locals. Of course, the greatest asset of Vietnam is its people. They are polite and cordial. They have this impression of simplicity and humbleness on them. It is quite rare to see a Vietnamese that is quite haughty. Furthermore, these people are highly industrious. Productivity is always the name of their game. Is Vietnam safe for tourists? All in all, Vietnam is an extremely safe country to travel in. The police keep a pretty tight grip on social order and there are rarely reports of muggings, robberies or sexual assaults. Scams and hassles do exist, particularly in Hanoi, Saigon, and Nha Trang.
What is the famous food of Vietnam? Pho might be Vietnam's most famous dish, but bun chai is the top choice when it comes to lunchtime in the capital. Just look for the clouds of meaty smoke after 11 a.m. when street-side restaurants start grilling up small patties of seasoned pork and slices of marinated pork belly over a charcoal fire.
Why was Vietnam growing so fast? According to the Asian Development Bank, ADB, Vietnam's economy has shown strong growth in 2019, as a result of high domestic demand, a strong manufacturing and processing industry, and high foreign direct investment, FDI.
Is Vietnam cheaper than Thailand? A week in Vietnam can cost you about $283 per person, while a week in Thailand may cost you around $480. When comparing food in Thailand versus Vietnam, they are not just different in cuisine, but also in price. Meal and restaurant costs in Thailand, $15, are often cheaper than Vietnam, $9.49. How much money do I need for 2 weeks in Vietnam? For a more comfortable backpacker experience in Vietnam, it's best to budget around $50 per day. This way, you'll have more money to spend on things like food, drinks, activities, and hotel rooms. For a comfortable mid-range experience in Vietnam, it's best to budget $60 to $100 per day for your entire costs.
What is a traditional Vietnamese breakfast? Vietnam is considered a country with a gorgeous breakfast dish. From snacks such as bread, sticky rice, dumplings, to other dishes such as bun, pho, noodles, porridge, hủ tiếu, can become an interesting breakfast to start a new day.
What does Vietnam mean? As a matter of fact, Vietnam is a combination of two Vietnamese words, Viet in ancient Vietnamese language meaning preeminent or descendants of a dragon soaring to the sun, Nam means of the southern territory. However, the word Viet can also be understood as moving away from something in ancient Chinese.
What is the coldest month in Vietnam? January. The coldest month is January, where minimum temperatures can occasionally fall below 0 degrees Celsius or 32 degrees Fahrenheit. The highest temperatures occur in late winter and early summer. This is usually during March and April.
What can you buy in Vietnam with $1? Vietnam, what a dollar can buy you. 1 day of bicycle rental. 2 Vietnamese coffees with sweet condensed milk. 15 minutes of airtime on a mobile phone SIM card. 1 bowl of pho bo, 1 small load of laundry. 250 grams of candied ginger. 1 Chinese lantern made of bamboo and fabric. 40 quail eggs.
What is the difference between culture and tradition? The main difference between culture and tradition is that traditions describe a group's beliefs and behaviors that are passed down from one generation to another. Culture describes the shared characteristics of the entire group, which has been amassed throughout its history. How much money do I need to retire in Vietnam? According to Numbeo, the world's largest cost of living database, Vietnam has a cost of living that is 46% lower than in the US. Rent is an even bigger difference, at 63% lower than in the US. You will be able to retire comfortably here for $1,000 a month, depending on your lifestyle. How long can a US citizen stay in Vietnam? 30 days. How long can American citizens stay in Vietnam? Americans can stay in Vietnam for a maximum of 30 days in total. Then will have to leave or do an in-country extension. What is the most popular job in Vietnam? The top 5 currently highest paid jobs in Vietnam. 1. Finance and investment were the fields that have the highest salary, according to the report of Vietnam Works 2019. 2. Banking. 3. Programmer and information technology industry. 4. Construction engineer. 5. Marketing. Do you bow in Vietnam? Bows are the traditional greeting in East Asia, particularly in Japan, Korea, China, and Vietnam. In China and Vietnam, shaking hands or a slight bow have become more popular than a full bow. However, bowing is not reserved only for greetings. Bowing is a gesture of respect. Is Vietnam a Hindu country? Hinduism in Vietnam is mainly observed by the ethnic Cham people. Ba Lamon Cham is one of two surviving non-Indic indigenous Hindu peoples. Around 60,000 Hindus live in Vietnam today.
Who helped Vietnam during war? North Vietnam was supported by the Soviet Union, China, and other communist allies. South Vietnam was supported by the United States, South Korea, the Philippines, Australia, Thailand, and other anti-communist allies. Is Lay a Vietnamese name? Lay is a romanization of several rare East Asian surnames, and a common Vietnamese surname. In 2000, it was the 8th most common surname among America's Asian and Pacific Islander population, predominantly from its Vietnamese use.
Is Vietnamese language difficult? Learning Vietnamese is neither hard nor easy. As we will see, many more aspects of Vietnamese grammar are easy rather than difficult. Realistically, it is more accurate to say that Vietnamese is mostly an easy language rather than a hard language. However, one aspect of Vietnamese, the pronunciation, is quite difficult.
Is Vietnam Airlines a safe airline? After careful evaluation and feedback from the airline and aviation industry, AirlineRatings.com has revised its 7-star safety rating system to give more importance to EASA, and this move elevates Vietnam Airlines up to 7 stars, the highest ranking.
What is so special about Vietnam? It's that simple. With its dramatic landscapes, fascinating history, epic food and pulsating energy, Vietnam will electrify all of your senses and seize you from all angles. Vietnam is at once crazy and serene, thrilling and relaxing. The best place to eat in Vietnam is on little, plastic stools on the sidewalk. Is Vietnam known for their coffee? Coffee is deeply woven into the social and economic fabric of Vietnam. It's the world's second-largest coffee exporter, and local specialty cafe with condensed milk is gaining global popularity. Affectionately nicknamed rocket fuel, Vietnamese coffee is a force to be reckoned with.
Why is Vietnamese coffee so strong? Vietnam is the world's second-largest exporter of coffee. However, in Vietnam, coffee beans are almost always Robusta. Robusta is almost twice as strong caffeine-wise, with a thick lingering taste, and higher acidity. The strong taste, a thicker brew, and a few over-roasted beans makes for a different, distinctive taste. Does Starbucks sell Vietnamese coffee? Barista reveals exactly how to order Vietnamese iced coffee at Starbucks. Vietnamese iced coffee is known for its perfect balance of bitter and sweet, but it may not always be easy to pop into your local coffee shop and order this style of drink, so a Starbucks barista has revealed exactly what to order. Which is better, Saigon or Hanoi? Conclusion? While Hanoi and Saigon are popular holiday destinations in Vietnam, it's clear that each city caters to different types of traveler. Hanoi is ideal for those looking to experience a more traditional lifestyle, while Saigon's urban landscape is best suited for luxury travelers. Can you drink on the streets in Vietnam? Yes, it is legal. The locals don't do it, they only drink when they're eating, but there's nothing to stop you wandering around with a cold tiger, and why should there be? Cheers. Why would you want to walk the streets drinking? Sometimes you feel like a cold beer while you're sightseeing.
What is the national flower of Vietnam? Lotus flower. In Vietnam, the lotus flower is the national flower. It is known as the flower of the dawn, and is the symbol of purity, commitment, and optimism for the future. Is red a lucky color in Vietnam? Red is a symbol of luck and is used in most Vietnamese celebrations. It is used as a lucky color for wrapping gifts, including red envelopes. Red is considered a lucky color because demons and evil spirits of legends were afraid of the color red. What is Vietnam national animal? Water buffalo. The water buffalo originated in Southeast Asia and plays an important role in Vietnamese culture.
What is the climate like in Vietnam? Vietnam has a tropical climate which is dominated by the monsoon season. The temperature in Vietnam typically ranges between 70 degrees Fahrenheit and 95 degrees Fahrenheit throughout the year. Vietnam has a tropical monsoon climate with high humidity, but its varied terrain means the temperature and seasons will vary across the different regions. What is the land like in Vietnam? Vietnam is a country of tropical lowlands, hills, and densely forested highlands, with level land covering no more than 20% of the area. The spectacular Ban Geoc waterfall is 272 kilometers north of Hanoi and few tourists are seen there.
Why is Vietnamese food so good? The cooking in Vietnam is done with minimal use of oil and dairy and relies more on the light, fresh flavors of herbs and vegetables. As a result, Vietnamese cuisine is considered one of the healthiest cuisines in the world. Is street food safe in Vietnam? Street food vendors. A lot of travelers ask about street food in Vietnam. Is it safe to eat? The answer is yes, but only if you use caution and common sense to suss out safe street food vendors. The more people who frequent a stall, the fresher the food will be.
How long is Vietnam's history? The history of Vietnam can be traced back to around 4,000 years ago. Vietnam's peculiar geography made it a difficult country to attack, which is why Vietnam under the Han kings was for so long an independent and self-contained state. What caused Vietnamese immigrants to come to America? Large-scale Vietnamese migration to the United States started as an influx of refugees following the end of the war. Early arrivals consisted largely of military personnel, and urban professionals, and their families, who worked with the US military or the South Vietnamese government. Why are there so many Vietnamese in Texas? Texas received many Vietnamese refugees in the late 1970s because it had a warm climate, an expanding economy, and a location in proximity to the ocean. Vietnamese from fishing and shrimping backgrounds saw Houston as a good settlement point due to its proximity to the Gulf of Mexico. Why are the Vietnamese called Charlie? American soldiers referred to the Viet Cong as Victor, Charlie or VC. Victor and Charlie are both letters in the NATO phonetic alphabet. Charlie referred to communist forces in general, both Viet Cong and North Vietnamese. Are Vietnam and China enemies? The bilateral relations between the People's Republic of China and the Socialist Republic of Vietnam have been largely hostile, despite their common sinospheric and socialist backgrounds. Did US use chemical weapons in Vietnam? During the Vietnam War, the US military engaged in an aggressive program of chemical warfare codenamed Operation March Hound. In order, American forces used more than 20 million gallons of herbicides in Vietnam, Laos and Cambodia during the years of Operation March Hound. Is Agent Orange illegal? The chemical dioxin in Agent Orange can remain toxic in the soil for decades. After its use in the 1960s, Agent Orange was banned by the US in 1971, and remaining stocks were taken from Vietnam and the US to Johnston Atoll, a US-controlled island about 700 miles southeast of Hawaii, where it was destroyed in 1978.
Was Facebook blocked in Vietnam? Facebook was blocked in Vietnam for 2 weeks in May 2016 due to protest of dissidents. Vietnam Facebook users total about 52 million, and is a vital tool for their day-to-day use. However, the government is not accountable to the people, which causes abuse of censorship in Vietnam. What is the retirement age in Vietnam? 60. Retirement age men in Vietnam is expected to reach 60.00 by the end of 2020, according to Trading Economics global macro models and analysts' expectations. In the long term, the Vietnam retirement age men is projected to trend around 60.00 in 2021, according to our econometric models. Is Google banned in Vietnam? Unlike China, the Vietnamese government doesn't intend to block any major social media websites. However, tech giants like Facebook and Google still oppose the new law. Which country uses Zalo? Vietnam. Zalo is a homegrown messaging app that dominates the Vietnam market. There, a homegrown messaging app called Zalo is being used by around 2/3 of the country's smartphone owners. What is Vietnamese bolero music? Vietnamese bolero is a style of popular music of Vietnam that was brought and popularized in the southern region during the 1950s. The genre was developed thanks to the exchange of the Eastern musical elements of traditional Vietnamese music with the emergence of Western popular music. Can you use American dollars in Vietnam? A question that's often asked. Is USD widely accepted in Vietnam? The simple answer is yes. Though the official currency of Vietnam is dong, VND, many big shops and hotels of Vietnam accept US dollar as well. When you travel to Vietnam, it's handy if you bring some dollars. Do they have snow in Vietnam? As a famous tourist destination in Vietnam, Sapa attracts a large number of tourists all year round thanks to its cool weather and beautiful mountainous scenery. In particular, it is the only place to have snow in Vietnam in the winter. Does it get cold in Hanoi? The city has a subtropical climate, which basically means that it can get pretty cold during winter. It usually starts from mid-December and typically lasts until late February or early March. The average temperature is around 15 degrees Celsius, though it sometimes can go below 10 degrees. Is it safe to walk around Hanoi at night? Hanoi is generally a safe city to explore, and serious crimes against tourists are extremely rare, but it's pertinent to exercise some caution. While it's generally safe to walk around the streets of the Old Quarter at night, it's best to avoid the darker lanes after around 10 p.m. Does Hanoi have 4 seasons? Although the weather is divided into 2 main seasons, rainy season from January to September and dry season from October to April, thanks to transition months, Hanoi still experiences all 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn and winter. What is the best airline to fly to Vietnam? The most helpful airlines for flights to Vietnam are Cathay Pacific, Japan Airlines, Korean Air, round-trip flights only. How long is flight to Vietnam? Flights from London to Hanoi, Vietnam, 11 hours 20 minutes. Flights from Manchester to Saigon City, Vietnam, 15 hours 10 minutes. Flights from Birmingham to Hanoi, Vietnam, 14 hours 25 minutes. Flights from Glasgow to Saigon City, Vietnam, 15 hours 45 minutes. Do they speak English in Hanoi? Frequent visitors to Vietnam report that you usually have no problems speaking English in any of the main cities like Hanoi and Saigon. The 50% English-speaking proportion is over the country as a whole. It is actually much higher than this in the cities, and lower in more rural areas. Can I use my debit card in Vietnam? Cash or card? Cash still rules Vietnam, but many places will accept your debit or credit card. The larger hotels and restaurants, especially in tourist areas, should take MasterCard, Visa, and American Express. Although there will be a 3 to 4% charge. How many days should I spend in Hanoi? You could easily spend 3 to 5 days in Hanoi alone. Add in an overnight trip out to Mai Chau, or a trip to the Perfume Pagoda, and your Hanoi time gets full very quickly. Is Hanoi safe for solo female travelers? This Vietnam city was named a City for Peace by UNESCO in 1999, and is rated as one of the most popular destinations for female solo travelers. Compared to other Asian cities, Hanoi streets are relatively safe with convenient transport options. Is Hanoi worth visiting? The answer is yes, it is worth visiting Hanoi. The second thing is the energetic vibe at night. When the sun is down, locals and expats flow into the streets. Clubs and bars are located most on Ta Hien, Long Ngoc Quyen Street, and nearby streets in the Old Quarter area. Is Hanoi beautiful? Hanoi in Vietnam attracts many tourists, who then mostly conclude that it might be Asia's most beautiful city. Besides beautiful, some use historical and interesting to describe Hanoi. Hanoi is a capital of Vietnam and located in the north. This is the second largest city in Vietnam after Saigon.
How expensive is it to live in Vietnam? Vietnam's most expensive city is Saigon City, followed by Hanoi. Even in these two places, a couple can enjoy a comfortable, middle-class lifestyle for less than $1,300 per month. How much is a vacation to Vietnam? Despite this, it's still possible to travel in Vietnam on a backpacker's budget of $40 or less per day, or enjoy a more comfortable trip for $60 to $100 per day. For a 5-star experience in Vietnam, it's best to budget $200 or more per day, roughly the same amount as you'd spend in nearby countries like Thailand. How long is flight from US to Vietnam? The air travel, bird fly, shortest distance between the United States and Vietnam is 13,814 kilometers equals 8,584 miles.
We are so lucky
if you travel with an airplane, which has average speed of 560 miles, from United States to Vietnam, it takes 15.33 hours to arrive. What should I wear in Hanoi? Lightweight tank tops and t-shirts are good things to wear in Vietnam, as are light-colored khakis. As for shoes, flip-flops or other open sandals work great on Vietnamese beaches, but you'll want to wear comfortable, closed-toe walking shoes to protect your feet when sightseeing in cities. How long should I stay in Vietnam? 3 weeks is about enough to see most of the highlight of Vietnam. I would spread each week for each region. If you can make it 4 weeks, that will allow you more time to enjoy the beaches. Is Vietnam friendly to the US? Vietnam is now regarded as America's closest ally in Southeast Asia. While Washington regularly goes out of its way to champion Hanoi and improve its international standing.
Is made in Vietnam good? Vietnam is an excellent place to source products, assuming that your product can be made here. The good news is that if your product is made in Vietnam, that it will likely be cheaper, or of a higher quality, than the same product from China. Many people are finding that products can be cheaper and better in Vietnam.
What has Vietnam invented? Vietnam Net Bridge, the invented automated teller machine, ATM, nanotechnology, which helps eliminate toxicity from water, or fuel saver for motorbikes, have all brought high income, and helped humans save energy. He is Du Duc Quoc, a Vietnamese, who has made 50 inventions. Which president started the Vietnam War? President Eisenhower. November 1, 1955, President Eisenhower deploys the Military Assistance Advisory Group to train the Army of the Republic of Vietnam. This marks the official beginning of American involvement in the war as recognized by the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. April 1956, the last French troops leave Vietnam. Is Vietnam cheaper than
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, so when the lady
India is
asked me about now in the
26.5%
typhoon
cheaper than
season,
Vietnam.
every year
How long
in
was
November
America
is
in
the
Vietnam?
typhoon and monsoon season.
19 years.
Typhoon
The
came
war,
Vietnam 5 days
considered a
ago.
Cold War era
Another
proxy war
one
by
came
some,
Vietnam
lasted
10
19
days
years,
ago.
with direct US involvement
Yeah,
ending
and
in
a lot of houses
1973,
were gone.
and included the Laotian Civil
but
War
we have
and the
good luck here.
Cambodian Civil War,
No
which
typhoon,
ended with
but
all
the
three
typhoon usually
countries
came
becoming
from
communist in
the North
1975.
Central, the North Vietnam.
Why did people protest
So
the
now the children
Vietnam
go back
War? Many
school.
Americans
After
opposed
they
the
go
war on moral
home
grounds,
for lunch and then they go back
appalled by
school.
the devastation and violence of the war. Others claimed the conflict was a war against Vietnamese independence, or an intervention in a foreign civil war. Others opposed it because they felt it lacked clear objectives and appeared to be unwinnable.
Vietnam woman long dress because áo dài. Yeah, this is a uniform for the high school girl long dress. When the mother asked me about the apartment in Vietnam, the poor Vietnamese live in apartment. Rich Vietnamese live in a private house. On the big bus for tourists, but now in the low seasons. Maybe next month more tourists. They come from Europe, too cold in Europe. They come Vietnam, it will be warm. A rich Vietnamese can build a house like on the right side. Okay, here like this, whole family on the motorbike. Usually a parent and two children. To law Vietnam, family always have two children. On the left here, one metro station. So 1 liter of the gasoline costs $1 US. And we see the ocean. Vietnam also have an oil well. We also have an oil well. You see the too hot here, but more of the Vietnamese cannot turn on air conditioner. Vietnamese can buy air conditioner, but their income not enough for electricity service. gentlemen, thank you for joining with us. So I wish you all healthy in your life, busy in work, lucky in game, and crazy in love. So good trip and good luck to you. So before you leave the bus, so double check your present, your money, your cell phone. Thank you. Yeah.